There's always a moment before every Major League Baseball season when the conversation around the Los Angeles Dodgers starts heating up again. Expectations rise, debates begin, and fans start imagining what the upcoming year could look like. But when the subject is Shohei Ohtani, the discussion goes far beyond the normal predictions about wins and losses. With Ohtani, the conversation always drifts in a territory that almost feels unreal, because every season he finds new ways to challenge what people thought was possible in baseball. Over the past few years, fans have grown used to seeing Ohtani dominate on both sides of the game. The ability to be one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball, while also taking the mound and delivering elite pitching performances, is something that simply does not happen in the modern era. Yet somehow, Ohtani has made it feel almost normal. The truth is that what he does still leaves people shaking their heads in disbelief, even after watching it happen season after season. Now, as the new season approaches, a new question has started circulating among fans and analysts. What is the next mountain left for Shohei Ohtani to climb? He has already collected individual awards, delivered unforgettable performances, and proven that he belongs among the most talented players the sport has ever seen. But when you look closely, there is still one achievement that seems to sit right at the top of the list: the Cy Young Award. It is not something Ohtani openly talks about in interviews, but people around the Dodgers organization have hinted that he is always chasing the next challenge. According to team leadership, whenever Ohtani sets his mind on a goal, special things tend to happen. That is why the idea of him targeting the Cy Young has suddenly become a real conversation heading into the season. And when you look back at his pitching numbers, the possibility does not sound nearly as crazy as it might have a few years ago. During the previous season, Ohtani posted an earned run average of 3.34 while striking out 90 batters and allowing only 16 walks across 67 and one-third innings. Those are extremely strong numbers by any standard. In fact, when comparing pitchers who threw a similar number of innings, his performance ranked among the best across several statistical categories. Of course, there was one moment late in the season that many fans still remember vividly. In a crucial postseason game, Ohtani took the mound but clearly looked fatigued. His command was not as sharp as usual, and some people questioned whether he should have continued pitching as long as he did. Still, the Dodgers managed to win the game, and in the end, that is what matters most in October baseball. Even so, that outing became a reminder of how demanding it is for a player to carry the workload that Ohtani does. To truly compete for the Cy Young Award, a pitcher usually needs to deliver both dominance and volume. That means staying healthy throughout the long grind of the regular season while consistently putting up elite numbers. For Ohtani, the challenge has never been the quality of his pitching. The real question has always been how many innings he can realistically throw while also maintaining his role as one of the most feared hitters in the lineup. Looking at his previous seasons provides an interesting perspective. Between 2021 and 2023, Ohtani made 74 starts on the mound. During that stretch, he recorded an earned run average of 2.84 and struck out 542 batters while issuing 143 walks across more than 400 innings. Those numbers placed him firmly among the most effective pitchers in the league during that period. When comparing his performance to other top pitchers over those same seasons, the results are even more impressive. Only a handful of elite arms managed to post a lower earned run average during that span, while very few pitchers could match his strikeout rate. In other words, when Ohtani is healthy and consistently taking the mound, he performs at a level that absolutely belongs in the Cy Young conversation. The challenge, however, lies in reaching the kind of workload that voters typically expect from award-winning pitchers. Ohtani has never thrown more than 135 innings in a single season. In today's game, that number is not insignificant, but many Cy Young winners still approach or exceed 180 innings. That gap creates an interesting debate about whether Ohtani could realistically capture the award without reaching those higher totals. The Dodgers have already shown that they are willing to manage their pitching staff creatively, including using a six-man rotation at times. That approach could help keep Ohtani fresh throughout the season, but it may also limit the number of starts he ultimately makes. For someone chasing the Cy Young Award, every additional outing on the mound can make a difference. Another factor that makes the race even more fascinating is the level of competition across the league. Several young pitchers have emerged as dominant forces, delivering incredible performances with both elite velocity and remarkable command. Any pitcher hoping to win the Cy Young Award will need to outperform some truly extraordinary talent. Still, there is something unique about Shohei Ohtani that makes people hesitate before doubting him. Throughout his career, he has repeatedly turned what seemed like unrealistic expectations into reality. Every time analysts try to define the limits of what he can accomplish, he somehow finds a way to push those limits even further. That is why the conversation around Ohtani never seems to slow down. Whether fans are discussing his home run power, his pitching dominance, or the possibility of chasing historic achievements, there is always another layer to explore. And heading into this season, the idea of Shohei Ohtani pursuing the Cy Young Award might just be the most intriguing storyline of them all. What makes the discussion even more fascinating is that Shohei Ohtani is not just chasing excellence in one part of the game. While many pitchers dedicate their entire careers to mastering the mound, Ohtani is simultaneously carrying the responsibility of being one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball. That dual impact is exactly what continues to separate him from every other player in the league, and it is the reason why conversations about his potential achievements always feel larger than the sport itself. If Ohtani were simply focusing on pitching, the path toward a Cy Young campaign might look a little more straightforward. More innings, more starts, and more opportunities to dominate opposing lineups would naturally strengthen his case. But that is not the reality of his role with the Dodgers. He is also expected to be a centerpiece of the offense, someone capable of changing the outcome of a game with a single swing of the bat. This is where the discussion becomes almost surreal, because while people debate whether Ohtani could compete for the Cy Young Award, there are also conversations happening about whether he could hit 60 home runs in the same season. Just saying those two possibilities in the same sentence feels absurd. Yet when you're talking about Shohei Ohtani, it somehow remains within the realm of possibility. The idea of 60 home runs is not just a random number thrown into the debate. Ohtani has already proven that his power belongs among the elite sluggers in the sport. His combination of bat speed, raw strength, and plate discipline allows him to drive the ball to every part of the field. Pitchers cannot simply challenge him in the strike zone, but they also cannot afford to fall too far behind in the count. That constant pressure often leads to mistakes, and when Ohtani gets a pitch he likes, the result can travel a very long way. But even with that power, reaching 60 home runs is one of the most difficult accomplishments in baseball. Only a small number of players in the entire history of the sport have managed to reach that mark. Doing it while also pitching regularly would push the achievement in a territory that has never been seen before. It would not just be impressive within baseball, it would become one of the most remarkable individual seasons in all of sports. That is why some fans believe the Cy Young conversation might actually be more realistic than the 60 home run milestone. Dominant pitching seasons happen every year, but combining elite pitching with strong hitting numbers could still be enough to capture the imagination of voters. If Ohtani were to finish near the top of the league in earned run average, strikeouts, and overall pitching value while also delivering massive offensive production, the argument for his impact would be impossible to ignore. There is also another possibility that quietly enters the discussion when people analyze Ohtani's skill set. While power tends to grab the headlines, he has shown the ability to maintain a strong batting average throughout his career. At his best, he is more than capable of hitting above the 300 mark, which already places a hitter among the most productive players in the league. Winning a batting title, however, is a completely different challenge. That race often comes down to consistency over the course of the entire season, with very little room for extended slumps. Ohtani has posted impressive averages before, including seasons where he comfortably cleared the 300 threshold. Yet batting champions sometimes need even higher numbers depending on the competition in a given year. Still, the fact that people are even discussing the possibility of Ohtani competing for a batting title while also pitching at an elite level, says everything about how extraordinary his talent truly is. Most players spend their careers trying to master one skill. Ohtani continues to show that he can dominate in multiple areas of the game simultaneously. Inside the Dodgers organization, there's also another storyline quietly developing. Yoshinobu Yamamoto arrived with enormous expectations, and many believe he has the tools necessary to become one of the most dominant pitchers in the league. His command, movement, and ability to keep hitters off balance have already impressed teammates and coaches. Some observers even believe Yamamoto could eventually enter the Cy Young conversation himself. That possibility creates an interesting dynamic for the Dodgers moving forward. Imagine a rotation where both Ohtani and Yamamoto are performing at a level capable of competing for the most prestigious pitching award in baseball. For a franchise that has always aimed to build championship-level rosters, that scenario would represent a dream situation. It also highlights something important about the culture inside the clubhouse. The presence of multiple elite players does not necessarily create rivalry. Instead, it often pushes everyone to raise their level. When teammates see someone chasing greatness, it can become contagious. Players start setting higher standards for themselves, and suddenly the entire roster begins operating with a different level of intensity. For Ohtani, motivation has never seemed to be an issue. People who have spent time around him often describe him as one of the most goal-driven athletes they have ever encountered. He approaches each season with a clear vision of what he wants to accomplish, and then he works relentlessly to bring those goals within reach. That mindset is one of the reasons fans remain so fascinated by everything he does. When Ohtani steps onto the field, it feels like there's always the possibility of witnessing something historic. A towering home run, a string of strikeouts, or a performance that reminds everyone just how rare his abilities truly are. And as the season unfolds, every start on the mound and every trip to the batter's box will add another chapter to the ongoing story of Shohei Ohtani. Whether he ultimately reaches the Cy Young level, challenges the home run record books, or simply continues delivering moments that leave fans speechless, one thing is certain. Baseball has never seen another player quite like him, and the next stretch of games could reveal just how far his remarkable journey can still go. As the season approaches, the anticipation surrounding his next chapter continues to grow. Fans know that whenever Ohtani steps onto the field, something unforgettable could happen. A towering home run, a double-digit strikeout performance, or a dominant outing that leave opposing hitters completely overwhelmed. Each moment adds another piece to a career that already feels historic. And if everything begins to align early in the year, if his arm looks strong and his bat remains explosive, the possibility of a true Cy Young run could transform from speculation into a legitimate chase that captures the attention of the entire baseball world. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Whispers around the league suggest that ROMO may have quietly accepted a proposal that positions him as a fresh reinforcement for the Los Angeles Dodgers moving forward. While nothing has been officially announced, sources close to the situation indicate that conversations accelerated behind the scenes, fueled by mutual interest and a shared vision of development and opportunity. The sense among insiders is that the Dodgers, always attentive to depth and long-term upside, see ROMO as a player whose profile fits their ongoing strategy of blending youth, defense, and adaptability. ROMO's name has circulated in scouting circles for his receiving skills, game management, and the quiet confidence he brings to the field. Those traits, according to people familiar with the negotiations, were central to the discussions. The Dodgers front office is believed to value catchers who can grow within their system, handle a demanding pitching staff, and contribute incrementally without the pressure of immediate stardom. In that context, ROMO's willingness to embrace competition and refinement may have tipped the balance toward an agreement in principle. Around the clubhouse, the rumor has sparked curiosity rather than surprise. The Dodgers have a reputation for making calculated moves that don't always dominate headlines at first, but often reveal their importance over time. Romo's potential arrival is being framed as exactly that kind of move: low noise, high projection. There's also speculation that the organization views him as more than a short-term solution, envisioning a role that could expand as he adjusts to the demands of the highest level. For now, everything remains in the realm of expectation and informed guesswork. Until pen meets paper and cameras capture the moment, the story lives in the margins of conversations and confident nods from those in the know. Still, the prevailing belief is that Drew Romo in Dodgers blue is no longer a distant idea, but a developing reality that could soon reshape the team's depth and future plans. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.